Good morning, everyone. It's Mr. Von Walde. Going to look at one of the essays in the packet. So, if you want to flip to page 31, we're going to look at Rodeo and Basketball by Gretel Ehrlich. Excuse me, it's early. Um, Grace took a look at this and talked about the fact that she's using comparison here, and the concept of the comparison that's going on is the right here. If we can take a look, um, it's rodeo and baseball. The idea being that they are both sports that have been around for quite some time, and what's important about that is that they are both particularly American. Um, and one has reached this huge level of popularity, and the other has still kind of like existed below the surface of like big American culture. What Grace pointed out right off the bat was the idea of the analogy uh, uh, between the concepts of like the way in which they're played and the places within which they're played, both being fields. But the origination of the rodeo, we had this like kind of like circling of the wagons, as it talks about kind of at the beginning, and it becomes a much like a betting thing. Looking back, I mean, I think Grace points out that the prize for winning the original rodeo was $25, but the but at this point, it really hasn't. We think about baseball players, and they make a lot more than $25 a game if they win something, or as Grace points out, that's about $800 a game, which might be about fair. But anyway, the whole concept is that one thing has been picked to. Picked to become popular, and the other one has not. I'm looking down and say after 124 years, rodeo is still misunderstood. Unlike baseball, it is a regional sport, although they do have rodeos in other places. It's derived from and stands for the Western way of life and the Western spirit. So that might be, I think, a part of this, and I think that might be where the author's exigence comes from, and where the purpose is as well. Like in speaking to that, the idea that the rodeo is something that is still kind of regional and underground in comparison to the um, in comparison to baseball, which now has kind of international interest. All right. So when we're looking about the styles, we're looking at like a comparison between the particulars of it, and that's really what happens here. And that's something that I kind of wish that you guys will look at a little bit closer. Like if they're pointing out something in the introduction that they think is important, that the blurb says is important, that's what you should be kind of looking at. So it's that comparison between baseball and rodeo that really is the thing to think about it, like being exemplary in this particular piece. All right, I hope that's helpful, and I'll give you another one of these sometime today as well.